Anger steals peace before life ever can. Most people suffer twice, once from the event, once from their resistance. Plans fail, people disappoint you, and the mind starts arguing with reality. That silent argument is what leaves you drained, bitter, and exhausted. You are not only carrying pain, you are feeding it with judgment. Seneca warned that anger punishes its owner before anyone else. The event hurts once. Your resistance keeps reopening it again and again, and that is why peace feels so far away. In this video, you will learn 3 Stoic ways back. The third is the one most people refuse to practice. First, how to stop arguing with what already happened. Then, how to calm anger before it becomes your character. Finally, how to protect peace when life ignores your plans. This is not a new struggle. Human beings have always suffered when the world refused their preferences. A broken promise, a delayed answer, a ruined plan. The clothing changes, the wound does not. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations in military camps, not in quiet comfort. He faced invasion, plague, exhaustion, and betrayal from men he trusted. Still, he kept returning to one question: what remains in my command now? Epictetus asked the same question from an even harsher beginning. He was born into slavery, which made control a matter of survival. He did not study peace as a mood, he studied it as discipline. Your failed plan, your unanswered message, your unwanted setback, these are the same ancient test. The Stoics would not tell you to feel nothing. They would tell you to stop giving your peace to what never belonged to you. If you miss this lesson, every disappointment becomes 2 injuries. The event harms you once, your anger keeps charging interest. Those 3 ways back rest on 4 disciplines. So let's begin. The first discipline. Item 1. The war against what happened. The first discipline is hard to practice because it feels justified. You believe that resisting reality proves you care. It does not. It only proves you are still negotiating with the past. This is what it looks like in ordinary life. A meeting is canceled, and you keep replaying the inconvenience for hours. A person changes their mind, and you keep returning to the exact moment they disappointed you. A plan falls apart, and instead of adjusting, you keep repeating, "This should not be happening." The event lasts minutes. Your argument with it lasts all day. That is the hidden cost. You lose attention, clarity, and the ability to act well in the next moment. Most people think the event stole their peace. Often, the protest did. Marcus Aurelius, writing while war pressed against the edges of empire, trained himself to meet facts cleanly. He kept reminding himself that the obstacle was not an insult, it was material for action, endurance, and character. That is your Stoic response. When life breaks the script, state the fact in one sentence. No adjectives, no performance. The plan changed. They said no. This is what remains. Then choose the next necessary action and do it. Nothing more and no further. But ending the argument with the event is only the beginning. The next wound is quieter and far more intimate. Item 2. The second wound you create. Once the event happens, most people do not stop at pain. They add interpretation. And interpretation, repeated often enough, becomes suffering. A friend cancels dinner, and now it means you do not matter. A project is rejected, and now it means you are falling behind. A delayed reply becomes disrespect. A closed door becomes a verdict on your worth. This is the second wound. The first wound is the fact. The second is the story you attach to it. And that second wound drains more than peace. It drains trust, patience, and your ability to judge clearly. You stop seeing what happened, you only see what it seems to say about you. Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not by events, but by their judgments about events. Coming from a man born into slavery, that was not shallow optimism. It was a severe discipline of inner command. So separate the fact from the meaning you are adding. Write both down if you must. Column 1, what happened. Column 2, what you added. Then cross out everything you cannot prove. Speak the fact once, not again. And here is where it becomes dangerous. If you rehearse that second wound long enough, it stops being a thought. It becomes a temperament. The next pattern is the one most people never notice in time. If what you're hearing resonates, if you're building a mind the Stoics would recognize, subscribe. This channel exists for people learning restraint, discipline, and inner freedom one hard decision at a time. Item 3. The anger that becomes identity. This is where disappointment turns dark. At first, anger feels like a response. Then it becomes a style of being. Your tone sharpens, your patience shortens. The people around you begin bracing before they speak. You call it honesty, you call it standards, but often it is unresolved resentment wearing the mask of strength. A delayed reply irritates you more than it should. A small mistake feels like disrespect. A changed plan ruins the whole day. Soon, life does not need to wound you deeply. It only needs to deviate slightly. That is dangerous. Seneca wrote on anger because he saw what this emotion becomes when entertained. He warned that anger is a brief madness, not because it always shouts, but because it hands command of you to something unstable. The longer you indulge it, the faster it returns next time. The habit strengthens, the threshold drops, and eventually your character starts taking shape around what hurt you. So build a ritual of delay. When anger rises, do not speak at once. Lower your voice, relax your hands. Take 10 breaths. Leave the room if needed. And ban 2 phrases from your mouth. You always and nothing ever. Those sentences do not solve reality. They recruit it into your bitterness. But here is the paradox. Peace does not come from getting a gentler life. It comes from learning to meet life without becoming harder inside. If anger can become identity, peace must become practice. That brings us to the final discipline. Item 4. The peace you protect on purpose. Most people make one final mistake. They confuse preference with entitlement. That confusion is why so many minds become fragile. You want the meeting to work. You want the person to stay. You want the timeline to hold. You want the body to heal on schedule. These are human preferences. There is nothing wrong with them. The problem begins when you treat them as guarantees. Then disappointment feels like betrayal. But life never signed that contract. You did. This is why some people remain steady under disruption. They are not detached from outcomes. They are disciplined about ownership. Epictetus taught his students to act with what later Stoics called the reserve clause. Do what is yours to do if nothing prevents it. That small condition changes everything. It lets you plan fully without chaining your peace to the result. So, before the next important action, say this quietly. I prefer this outcome, but I do not control it. Then prepare the honorable alternative. If the trip is canceled, what good use remains for the day? If the answer is no, what clean action remains? If the timeline breaks, what still belongs to your discipline? This is not passivity. It is disciplined flexibility. It is how you keep peace without surrendering effort. Everything we have covered leads to one Stoic principle. Without it, none of these disciplines hold. Every one of these patterns shares the same root. You suffer most when you treat the uncontrollable as personal property. The event happens outside you. The mind claims authority over it anyway. That is why the Stoics return to the dichotomy of control. Some things are yours: judgment, choice, speech, action. Everything else arrives on loan: outcomes, timing, praise, other people, and the future. Forget that, and anger feels reasonable. Remember it, and anger starts losing its authority. This is the inner citadel, not a fantasy of safety, a discipline of rightful command. The person who learns this does not become cold, they become difficult to disturb. They can lose a plan without losing themselves. And that is freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote that when something external disturbs you, the pain does not come from the thing alone. It comes from the judgment you attach to it. And he reminded himself that this judgment can be withdrawn. He wrote those words while carrying war, plague, duty, and betrayal on his shoulders. So this is not a soft lesson. It is a hard one, earned under pressure. Here is the translation for your life today. Peace is not found by forcing life to obey you. Peace is found when you stop giving every event permission to rule your mind. The setback may still hurt, the loss may still be real, the disappointment may still sting, but none of those things require you to become bitter, sharp, or internally chaotic. So here is your challenge. For the next 7 days, practice this the moment life refuses your plan. State the fact in one sentence. Name the story you are tempted to add. Then choose one action that still belongs to you, nothing more, and no further. If anger rises, delay your tongue until your judgment is clean. If the outcome collapses, use the reserve clause and continue with dignity. This is how peace returns, not all at once, but immediately enough to change your character. Peace returns when you stop demanding that reality apologize. Take that line with you today. If this kind of thinking matters to you, subscribe. This channel is built for people who take their inner life seriously. If this resonated, the next step is learning how to control your reactions before they control you. That video is linked above, and it goes deeper into the discipline that protects peace under pressure. One decision, starting now.